We're one match away from a second consecutive Australian Open semifinal between Aryna Sabalenka and Coco Gauff after both women earned impressive fourth-round wins. Can Paula and Badosa stop them from meeting in the Final Four yet again? Meanwhile, Iga Swiatek is in fearful form right now and is currently the overwhelming favorite to make the finals in the bottom half of the draw, especially with her biggest threat, Elena Rybakina, in doubt with an injury. I'll look at who, if really anyone, has the best shot at stopping the poll. Hey, I'm Christian Bassnight, and welcome to Christian's Court, where I cover tennis from all angles. If you haven't yet already, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post more Aussie Open updates as the tournament still moves on. Aryna Sabalenka has reached her 9th consecutive Slam quarterfinal, which is incredible, after she destroyed Mirra Andreeva 6-1, 6-2 in just 62 minutes. This was by far Aryna's best match at this Australian Open from start to finish. It was very clean from her as she finished with 15 winners to just 11 unforced errors. Aryna also incorporated a lot of variety in this one too, mixing things up with slices and drop shots to keep Mirra on her toes. I think this is just simply a bad matchup for the 17-year-old. Sabalenka just has too much power for her right now, and Mirra doesn't have really anything that can trouble Sabalenka consistently. I think this result also proves that if it weren't for Sabalenka consuming that bad steak around the time of when they faced off Roland Garros in the quarterfinals, Aryna definitely would have won that match for sure. I think Sabalenka is rounding into form nicely and is peaking really nicely to where she wants to be in order for her to complete the three-peat. And to be honest, at first, even though she was the favorite coming into this one, it was a tad hard for me to see her lifting the trophy yet again this year because her form wasn't the best in the opening 2 rounds, and also her outfit was a little bit odd. But of course her form has improved and that fit has grown on me to where I can see her lift the trophy in it. So for me, I think she is in the best form currently a little bit right now in the top half. When Sabalenka was asked in the press who she'd rather face in the quarterfinals, she said that she really didn't care, but I have a feeling that she'll be happy that it is Pavlyuchenkova and not Donna Vekic, who Vekic owns a 6-2 head-to-head over the world number 1. Anastasia claimed a 7-6, 6-love win over the Croatian Vekic to reach her 4th Aussie Open quarterfinal and 9th major quarterfinal overall in her career. It was a good contest at first, but unfortunately Donna suffered a right knee problem, an injury, and she could not keep up a good fight in the second set at all. She really should have retired. Pavlyuchenkova is definitely a tour veteran at 33 years old, and she's overall a very solid player, just knows how to kind of sneak her way through and make a Slam quarterfinal every once in a while. She actually holds a 2-1 head-to-head record over Sabalenka, although they haven't played in 4 years or so since the 2021 Roland Garros 3rd round, which Pavlyuchenkova of course won en route to making her maiden Slam final. Anastasia has had cute wins this tournament over Potapova, Siegemund, and now of course Vekic. I think she has a lot of firepower to be able to match Big Lenka from the ground, so perhaps she might have a slim chance. However, I think that Sabalenka is just peaking just in time, as I mentioned earlier, for the business end of the Slam, and I think she'll be even more incredibly tough to beat here in Melbourne. She's currently on an 18-match win streak here and hasn't dropped a set. She's on a 12-set win streak as well. So I don't see that changing here, and I have her winning another match in straight sets here in this quarterfinal. Speaking of sets, Coco Gauff lost her first set of the 2025 season against Belinda Bencic before fighting back well to end the Swiss women's magical run from maternity leave, winning their 4th round match 5-7, 6-2, 6-1. Bencic played pretty solid to start off this match, but Coco was definitely off her game. She was pretty error prone, to be honest, and Bencic didn't make life easy for the American, hitting her shots with consistent depth, and she often matched Coco pound for pound from the backhand, as Bencic's backhand is one of the best on tour as well. The double faults were also a bit of an issue for Coco in this opening set, but she controlled it well in the final 2. She also made a conscious effort to improve her court positioning to where she could be able to dictate proceedings a little bit more throughout the rallies. She also incorporated more angles on her shots, and that was key in being able to get Bencic on the move and out of position. I feel like she didn't do a great job of that in the first set, but once she was able to get the Swiss woman on the move and make this more of a physical match. She kind of ran away with it low-key in the end. At the end, I think definitely Bencic was gassed, and it makes sense as it is still pretty early in her comeback, and Coco is just a tough out, and she knows how to make matches very physical. Again, it wasn't her United Cup best, but she was still very solid in this match, Coco was, and I think Gauff would be very happy with how she played in the final 2 sets for sure, because Bencic is a very dangerous player, and it looked like she was going to be able to pull off the upset after she got that first set. So once again, great effort from Coco to be able to turn it around. I don't think it'll get that much easier for Coco moving forward, as in the quarterfinals she'll now face Paula Badosa. Badosa eliminated Olga Danilovic, who beat Jessica Pegula in the 3rd round, and Badosa won that by a score of 6-1, 7-6. This was a great fight from Badosa, especially considering how she trailed 2-5 in the 2nd set. I think this would be a little bit of a tough test for Gauff, to be honest. The head-to-head between these two is tied at 3 apiece, and they played twice last year. Coco took both matches. The first match last year was on clay in Rome. Then their more recently contested match was in the Beijing semifinals, and both went the distance. I think Paula was very, very close to taking that Beijing match as well, as she led that one 6-4, 4-2, and had a plethora of break points throughout the 2nd set. But Coco was so gritty, and she worked past her service struggles and cut down on the errors and just was the much more solid player in the end. This is going to be Badosa's 3rd Slam quarterfinal appearance, and her previous one was at the last major at the US Open against Emma Navarro. The Spaniard has never made a Slam semifinal in her career, so that's going to be an aspect too of whether she'll be able to get over the hump, and if it comes time to where she serves for the match or is in position of winning the match, can she push through? In that U.S. Open quarterfinal match against against Navarro, we saw some nerves creep in for her, especially after she went up 5-1 in the 2nd set, and she kind of collapsed from then on and didn't win a single game from that point forward. So Badosa does have some choking tendencies. Wouldn't be surprised if that came and arose in this match if things do get favorable in her position throughout. However, something that's on Paula's side is that she won't be the favorite in this match like she perhaps was in that quarterfinal against Navarro at the US Open. I think she'll know that Coco is going to be, again, the favorite, being highly ranked, knowing that Coco is high on confidence, winning the WTA Finals, hasn't lost a match this year, so perhaps the Spaniard will come out and play more of a free match. I also think Badosa has the game to push and perhaps beat Coco here. She has a sound serve and a very good ground game, but Badosa, like Coco sometimes, has the tendency to throw into some double faults as well, and that's something that plagued her a lot in their Beijing semifinal match. I think if Badosa is going to want to win this match, it honestly has to be in straight sets, because if this one gets pushed to 3, Coco, I think, would be a better favorite, because it's just so hard to beat Coco Gauff in 3 sets. And I think I could picture Badosa being a little bit gassed, as she is a player who's prone with injury issues and health problems, especially when things get a little bit tighter as things go on and progress more in matches. And I think it will be tough for Paula to take this one in straight sets, so I'll be giving the edge to Coco. I'll have her win this one in 3 with a 4-6, 6-3, 6-3 type of scoreline. Quick note, some people like Pam Shriver, for example, took issue with the 4 women's round of 16 matches today all being played low-key kind of simultaneously, and that made it a little bit tough to follow as a fan. So I wonder what y'all think about it, if y'all kind of enjoyed the earlier start, or if y'all found an issue as well with them playing kind of at the same time. It was one match on Rod Laver and simultaneously another match on Margaret Court, and then the same thing when the 2 matches followed. Meanwhile, looking at the bottom half of the women's draw, I feel like the whole story is, can anyone really stop Iga Swiatek from making the finals? The poll looked scary good in her won and loved demolition of Emma Raducanu in this previous 3rd round, and she has looked very, very good all tournament. And to me, I knew from round 1 that she'd be incredibly tough to beat, at least in this part of the draw. She has played very much within herself too, and I think Wim Fazet, I have to give him credit. I was very skeptical about this partnership, but he has done well to kind of help Iga tap into her more defensive capabilities, which aided her a lot in 2022. Now, Iga hasn't faced a big hitter yet, a big hitter to really test her, and she won't in the 4th round when she takes on 23-year-old German Eva Lees. Lees is a lucky loser, and she has a great story with her. She wasn't expecting to play at all. She got the last-minute call when Anna Kalinskaya withdrew late minute from the tournament, and she didn't even have a chance to warm up for her opening round match against Kim Burrell, and the rest is literally history, as Lise is the first woman to make the Aussie Open fourth round as a lucky loser, I believe, in the Open era. So it's been incredible to see her rise. I've always tapped her as one to watch, so for her to make her big breakthrough here under these circumstances is quite something to see. Again, very happy for Eva, but I'd be very surprised, honestly, if she won more than 5 games against Iga in this match. She played Iga one time 3 years ago in Stuttgart in 2022, and she won 2 games, so I do see this one being a quick one for the poll. If Iga does indeed win, she'd face either Daria Kasatkina or Emma Navarro, who face off in the 4th round. Kasatkina has quietly cruised through this tournament. She hasn't dropped a set, and she recently scored a 7-5, 6-1 win over Yulia Putintseva, and that's a great win, by the way, because Putintseva is a tough opponent. Emma Navarro, meanwhile, has had to battle to get to the stage, as all 3 of her opening round matches were 3-setters. Navarro hasn't played great tennis, so I honestly might favor Kasatkina to take this match. I think Navarro, though, would be the bigger test for Iga in that quarterfinal. Kasatkina hasn't won more than 5 games in a match in their last 6 meetings. Now, even if Iga did play Navarro, I think Iga would get through pretty comfortably, as again, I have not been impressed at all by what I've seen from Emma. She's been getting through these matches kind of scratching and clawing. I haven't really seen any standout impressive displays of tennis from her. Really, the only thing going for her is the streak of she made the Australian Open 3rd round last year, 2024, then made the 4th round of Roland Garros in 2024, women in quarterfinals, then the U.S. Open semifinals. So if the trend continues, again, she would make the finals, finish runner-up at the Australian Open, but I do not see that happening, to be honest. Now, like her husband, Alina Svitolina eliminated a 4th seed in the 3rd round as she took down Jasmine Paolini, in fact, begging the Italian, who was struggling with an injury, in the 3rd set. Svitolina faces Veronika Kudermetova next, who has gotten some solid wins to the tournament, beating 2 seeds and Katie Boulter and Beatrice Haddad-Maia. The winner of Kudermetova-Svitolina faces the winner of Madison Keys and Elena Rybakina. Keys, I believe, will be the favorite here, despite her being the lower ranked of the two, because not only is she riding high on confidence, taking the Adelaide 500 title leading into the tournament, but also there's a chance that her opponent, Rybakina, might not even take the court to play this match due to a back problem that she picked up in the round prior against Diana Yastremska. That issue was so bad that Rybakina couldn't even carry her bag off the court, so wouldn't be surprised if we saw a withdrawal notice from her hours before the match. A healthy Rybakina is very much a legit threat to Swiatek, but I don't see her physically being well enough to go deep here and even get to the point where she would even play Iga in the semifinals. I think Iga would be a good favorite to beat Maddie, to be honest. She has her leg strap, Keys does, and it might be some physical issues too if Keys does happen to get to this stage, the semifinal stage. Although both Kudermetova and Svitolina have beaten Iga before, I don't think they have what it takes to do it again here when Swiatek is in this form. Right now, I think perhaps Keys has the best shot out of these players to beat Iga, maybe Navarro too, when you consider health, form, and experience of being this deep in a major. But I'd just be simply very surprised if we didn't see Swiatek compete on Championship Saturday. That is all I have for this Aussie Open Women's update, and let me know whether you think we will indeed see a Gauff Sabalenka semifinal. Also, is Iga the clear finals favorite in your eyes? If not, who has the best shot at stopping her? Again, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you are notified whenever I post more content throughout the tournament. Thank you all so much for watching and for your support, and I'll see you all next time here on Christian's Court.